Hello again, you're with Smart Money here on Bloomberg UTV. Let's talk about personal loans now. An all-purpose unsecured loan for the most part. You can get personal loans from almost anywhere. And as the borrower, you do not need to give any security or collateral. But should you go ahead and take those loans, what are the kind of charges that apply on them? What is loan protector insurance? Let's quickly meet Roongta. We're looking at the loan space over this week, and this is the space that we're looking at right now. Personal loans, people take them for various kinds of requirements, for weddings, for studies, for trips abroad, etc. Is that a good reason why you want to raise a personal loan, looking at the kind of interest rates that are charged on them?
So typically a personal loan has to be the last resort. I mean, before you take a personal loan, you try for a secured loan, whether it is against property, whether it is against jewelry, or possibly other kind of securities such as units, etc., because those are cheaper, available for a longer period, etc. If no other option, then you also look for specific kinds of loans. So there is an education loan up to 4 lakhs that's available as unsecured.
Correct.
Provided the course is accredited, etc. Now that would be much cheaper, long term, etc. Again, if you have exhausted all this, then only obviously you should look at a personal.
So typically, I mean, if I'm in the market to take a personal loan, what is a reasonable rate of interest to be able to pay for it? Considering that I have a choice, I can raise the money from elsewhere too. If I have potentially that choice, what should I be willing to pay for a personal loan?
So typically, what rate you will get will depend on what your profile. So obviously, I am assuming everybody has had a good track record, because otherwise you will not get one.
Sure.
But if you are salaried and if your employer is a blue chip, you might get it as low as 14%, versus somebody who's a small-time business person or a salaried person with incomes of 15,000-20,000 rupees. Their rates can be as high as 40% or even 45%. So the variety is just too huge to be able to really give a band.
Right. And how important it is for me to get the money at that point in time also kind of really drives it, and how much I'm willing to pay and, underwrite it as well. But are there prepayment charges as well that apply on personal loans?
Oh, absolutely. So I think personal loans, there are some personal loans that will not allow a prepayment for 6 months. And even after that, prepayment charges are fairly stiff. I mean, they would range from 3 to 5%. So a fairly stiff repayment charge.
So there is a reason why, Harsh, you're saying that this should be the final resort when you're looking at raising money.
Absolutely.
Personal loans is not really the way to go.
Expensive, convenient, I think. So that's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. And there is a premium on that, clearly.
Absolutely.
So a viewer is asking that he wants a personal loan of 1.5 lakh rupees for about 6 months. And how much interest is he likely to pay on something like this?
So as I said, very difficult to
actually pinpoint
that. I mean, if he's working for, just to take a name, if he's working for Hindustan Unilever,
right,
he would probably get it at 14%, and assuming his income is sufficient. Versus, as I said, it could go as high as 40%. Depends on his income, depends on his employer, or his business records. If he is self-employed.
And what exactly is loan protector insurance, Harsh?
So loan protector insurance is obviously a catch-all word. I mean, essentially it protects the risks of defaulting on a loan due to events that can be insured. So one could be death. So if a death occurs, the loan would be paid off from the insurance. Other could be health issues. So if you get a critical illness, again you can buy. Interestingly, you also get, very sparingly, you could also get a group insurance which might protect you from job loss.
Right.
So it will pay, say, 2 or 3 EMIs after 30 days of becoming unemployed. So it gives you a breathing space not to default on the loan while you look for another job.
Right.
Again, very sparingly available in India, very much available rest of the world. I think it will come to India in a bigger way than it already has.
Right. So that's about the very basic that we could offer you on personal loans. I'm sure you have very specific questions to ask. If you do, send them across to us at our email ID, smartmoney@utvmoney.com. Harsh Roongta, thank you so much for joining us from ApnaPaisa.com.